What is the ultimate goal? Sales. Marketing is there to drive sales.
About marketing KPIs.
Marketing and sales are not working in silos.
This revenue marketing, how it goes?
Quick. You have a goal in mind. How are we going to get there?
Growth hacking and growth marketing is something similar.
You're doing growth hacking too. Your most powerful copy is your customer's words. You're sitting on gold.
Best answer I could expect.
Reading is nice. Doing teaches you a lot more.
Good day to everyone. This is InnMind channel with the best first-hand information for startup founders and tech entrepreneurs. And today we want to talk about marketing. Marketing in startups is one of the essential things any company, any startup founder should know about and should get involved in. And therefore we invited amazing experts in this field, so experienced and so professional that when I met her first time, I was sincerely fascinated by her deep knowledge in this topic. So please meet Zineb Layachi. Zineb is co-founder of the Pitch Slap initiative, which is helping startup founders to improve their sales pitch, marketing pitch, or investment pitch. And she's also experienced CMO advisor and consultant to various of companies and startups in strategic marketing. Hi, Zineb.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for that great intro. And I'm really happy to be here.
You work with so many startup founders. You provide them advice, mentorship, and service for strategic marketing. But many people don't understand the full difference between strategic marketing and everyday marketing. So what is the basic differentiation between these two?
I think I'll start by saying this. When you're starting a business, it's crazy. It's like a race against the clock, no? And there's so much to do, and you tend to lose focus. So you have this friend that's recommending this tool, this other network that's recommending you do this. So you keep doing, I'm going to do a bit of outreach, then I'm going to go do some backlinks. Then I'll open up an Instagram account, and then, I need a LinkedIn account too. So this, I think, is what usually happens. But if you stop and you start thinking of a strategy, which is take a step back, what is the ultimate goal? Sales, right? Marketing is there to drive sales. We can talk about awareness all you want, but ultimately everything that you do is to drive sales. And especially at the beginning, if you want to end up being funded, and this is more a message to the founders in your community, they're at some point gonna go ask for funding. And what do they have to show for it? So they have the team. The team is a strong point, sure. You need to learn how to sell yourself, but you need to also show traction. A strategy is just being more efficient, keeping the goal in mind and being more efficient. What is it that's going to get me to that goal in the least amount of time, considering that a CEO, for example, has to sell, has to start networking with investors. Someone from marketing in a very early startup has to do pretty much everything, no? Everything, depending on the business, they have to answer the phones, they have to everything. So time is limited, and having a strategy really helps you draw a line and not lose focus and have things measurable at each step, so you can tweak, because this is very rinse and repeat. So you measure, you analyze, and you come up with another strategy to retweak.
I really love how you understand the deep connection between sales and marketing. I have a feeling that not everyone understands it really the same way. And that is one of the problems which I see within a lot of startup founders, for whom marketing is just beautiful pictures or beautiful branding. But they don't connect it directly with sales. There is also another problem about marketing KPIs. Some people say that marketing KPIs, they can be connected with anything but not direct sales. So you cannot put KPI of sales to the marketing person. Do you agree with that?
That's an excellent. I love that question, because I've been over the past 6-7 months, I've been doing a lot of work on revenue marketing. I don't know if you've heard that term before. So it's the idea. Basically, I just wasn't. I don't seem to be cliche or anything, but I just wasn't happy with the way we were doing things. No, and since I work with many startups, I advise many startups. I'm in touch with different business models, different different sectors, etc. I just wasn't happy with the way things were being done. So I started to do a bit of research, and I came across this idea of revenue marketing, which is not at all new. And I thought, and also co-owning revenue with sales. We have to make a difference between B2B and B2C, because B2C marketing and sales is pretty much the same thing, right? Yeah, all direct to consumer, that's separate. But in B2B, this idea of co-owning revenue just means that it's not, marketing and sales are not working in silos. So it's not marketing that sends that is judged based on MQLs. So 1,000 MQLs, marketing is happy, if they have a bonus tied to that, then great. But sales is not closing those deals. So it's not about volume. No, so we get into this whole conversation. How do you really qualify leads so that your sales guys or girls can close them, so that you can have revenue and then be accountable for that revenue? So it's just a change of mindset from this volume that we're just so focused on MQLs with gated content. I'll just do an ebook. I'll do an ebook and to get emails. But do you know how many curious marketers out there? Do you know how many copywriters have access to that? So your list of MQLs is, no, excuse my French, but it's crap.
Sorry, what is
so
that?
Yeah,
MQL stands for?
Marketing qualified leads. So if you have the funnel where there's a very, very cold lead, you have a marketing qualified lead. So according to marketing, they showed such and such behavior, which means they're qualified, which the example I gave is downloading an ebook. So to marketing, that's a marketing qualified lead. That lead goes to sales for the next step of qualification. Depending on the business, it could be a discovery call, it could be, but if they're wasting their time on leads that are not going to convert, then marketing is not co-owning revenue, so it's not feeling responsible for that revenue too. So I think we just need this idea of working together, and be it B2C or B2B.
And this revenue marketing concept is actually all about this, yes?
Yeah.
So it's actually interesting. I didn't know about exactly this term before. Was it you who invented it?
No, not at all. It's like I said, it's not new, and in the notes we can leave a few links. There's also a book written by one of my dearest friends on LinkedIn. A really quick read, and I think it'll be an eye opener. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we can leave that.
Guys, check the description below. All the links will be there. Just check them, go through and read, increase your knowledge and understanding of this topic. So Zineb, you told that the last 6 months you are doing experiments with this revenue marketing. How it goes? What are the results?
It's pretty interesting. I mean, my role with, apart from Pitch Slap, my role as a CMO in residence, just to give you a little bit of background for anyone who doesn't know what this is. I don't know if I invented it, maybe I did, but if I don't know if you or the people watching are familiar with the role entrepreneur in residence. So the VC firms, they might have a role, at least that's how I came across it. They have a role of an entrepreneur in residence, which, I'll just be simplifying. Let's say they have 10 projects, they've invested in 10 projects. So they'll send that entrepreneur to one project, spend 6 months, be part of the team with this specific goal, So you need to get the churn down to this much, then I take you out and I put you in another project with another goal. So it's an entrepreneur that's one of the team during a period of time. So I said, hey, CMO in residence, which is that's what I love to do. So it's the hop in, be one of the team, fix stuff, and then hop out. No, because when I'm in the teams, I feel like I'm one of them. So I'm in. You know, I have an email address, a corporate email address. I have, you know, access to their LinkedIn company page. I'm in their WhatsApp groups. I'm in their Slack channels. No, so for an X period of time. So anyways, back to the things that I've been testing. I think the number one challenge is the actual mindset. So I could come up with this, present this great thing of this idea of co-owning revenue, but if they don't believe, the CEO doesn't believe in this, or the founders don't believe in this, then it's just not going to happen. It has to come from up top. You know, the same thing with strategic narratives, with this narrative, what's the story of the company? If it doesn't come from up top, then I think that's the first challenge that I found, and I'm consistently tweaking stuff. As I don't know if you see, you know, my LinkedIn, I'm always, you know, posting about things that I test or testing stuff. So definitely, and I hope too. You just gave me an idea for an article, like a post about this. What I've learned in the past 6-7 months.
Oh,
in terms of revenue, that would be awesome. Yeah,
you should share it with the audience, of course. Guys, subscribe. We will put the link to Zineb LinkedIn profile. Go add her into friends or follow her, and follow these daily posts. It could be a great source of knowledge and results of experiments from really professional person. You will enrich your marketing experience.
I hope to be adding value, and I'd be happy to engage with you.
Awesome. And this is CMO at residence. It really sounds, sounds crazy cool. I heard about this concept. I met it many times, but not exactly with this expression, CMO at residence. And I always was kind of guessing how efficient it is, because first of all, being CMO at residence, are you connected with one company only at a time, or you can manage several in parallel? And if it is second, how is it possible to maintain the main efficiency?
Yeah, no, very good point. I started out thinking that I could have several full residencies at once. That is literally not possible. At least I haven't found a way to not just die in the process. No, but definitely tested that out. And I think that what has stopped me is, what has been a big stopper is that a team, especially when they're starting out, there's there is no structure. So it's not, you can't say that Tuesdays I'm going to work for so and so, for this company, Wednesdays, you know, because I need to organize my work and my creative process and all that, and you can't do that. So if during a single day you're answering an email from one project, and then doing, you know, writing up reviewing content from another, setting up a LinkedIn ad campaign, reviewing the whatever, so it's just that you don't add value, no, at the end, because you need to be, I like cross-pollination. That's one of the great things about what I do. But this is just too much. This is too forced cross-pollination. Yeah. So in terms of what CMO in residence, in terms of real implementation work, I only have one at a time.
Oh, so you disappointed a lot of founders now. You're already CMO at Eddington right now, And
Yeah.
I think a lot of among them, at least I was even thinking in parallel, wow, I would love to have such a was at residence as you are. So you broke a lot of hearts.
I'm sorry, but they can still, you know, we can still work together. I do strategy sessions. Yeah, depending on the needs of the project, they can go from, you know, 1 hour to over a couple of weeks, months. So we can start a relationship and have a long-lasting relationship. Yeah. So
Yeah, that sounds like a solution. And so you can, in parallel, still, and you are doing this, providing
oh yeah,
support, providing advisory support,
oh yeah.
etc.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Just to give you an example, one of the most recent ones, I think we started two months ago, 2 or 3 months ago. So that's a 3 hours a week kind of a consulting gig, where basically at the very beginning it's what is it that you need and how much what needs to be done, and how much time do we need to do that. No, obviously we have to be flexible, because if you know things when you're starting out, it's, I mean, when I say starting out, I don't mean idea stage. This is post MVP, this example that I'm giving you, but still you need to be flexible. So yeah, it could be working on the positioning, it could be uh, getting yourself to, so starting from strategic narrative to sales pitches to, you know, content, demand generation and marketing. So getting them through all this, testing the which is one of my favorite things to do, is the messaging, getting the messaging right. No? Yeah, so anyway, just to give you an idea.
And when did you start to work with this specific target audience, like startup founders?
Well, as a consultant, you mean?
Yes.
I started, I'm pretty sure I'm getting this wrong because I don't feel the time, just time is flying by,
Oh,
but I think three and a half years ago, I think. Yeah. And so I went through my own process of, my idea is, you know, because I love startups, my idea was to work with 50 startups in a month.
50.
Yeah, 50. So that was my idea. Why not just do all that? Because I saw the need. But the thing is that if you take too early stage, maybe even very close to idea stage, they have the least amount of money. So they have the smallest budget, and they're the most demanding. You
That
know?
is true. And they
Yeah,
usually don't have resources. Like, for example, as a
exactly.
strategic marketer, a CMO,
Mm-hmm.
or consultant, you don't usually do this social media, I mean, execution work,
Yeah,
posting, etc. And usually the early stage startups, they demand everything in one bottle.
exactly. Yeah. For example, the implementation in such, for example, with Addington Technologies, I'm a big believer of selling through your personal brand. So at the end of the day, it's human to human. All right. So the company pages nowadays, it's just, you know, the whole sending the posts to everyone in the company so that they can yeah, just leave that for the updates, and you can continuously post content, but it's more your personal brand. So if I'm CMO in residence, I am postings, which is why I'm picky on who I choose, because I'm putting my personal brand on the line. I'm putting my face, no? So I need to really like fall in love with the project, which is, you know, and usually it's I fall in love, quote unquote, with the vision the founders have, you know, and that's what gets me to.
That's a very interesting thing what you are telling now. So you mean that corporate pages, public company pages in social media, they do not work anymore as efficient marketing channel, and they are substituted by personal branding of founding team and each core team member. So it, but does it mean that it makes no sense to anymore to invest in the development of public pages, corporate pages. They just should exist and maybe have updates once per week, once per month, but don't invest time and money anymore in their promotion.
Well, you brought up two things. One is whether it should exist or not, and then you said promotion, which I'd like to talk about ads later on. No, but in terms of company pages, just have them. Of course, it's important to have, you know, your description, what you're about, your links, whether you're selling tickets or to your website or a demo page or whatever it is. You have to have it to be able to have it on your LinkedIn profile. So obviously that's, and you have the cover, which is really important communication. So that's super important to have. Any updates you might have, any content, anything you think valuable, just post it there. But that is not your ultimate goal. Your goal is you yourself to be the sort of like the voice. So Nelly, if you post something about, you know, just let's say you think, okay, you know, I'm having a hard time organizing my schedule, and I feel like I'm doing a lot of work about work and not meaningful work, etc. So you post this. People see that Nelly, you know, they connect with Nelly. Tomorrow you post something else. The third day you post something about InnMind. And then it's just about being there. And people connect with Nelly because, oh, she posts really interesting things, no? About the sector, about, depending on your target, no? Obviously you need to always try and be smart about that. So it's not just talking about beautiful beaches and you can do it posts, you know. You have to be smart and how to always plug in something about your company. So that's that. I think it's more the human to human, and especially in sales, in B2B, sorry. So that's a real big one. And then you mentioned promotion. Promotion, if you're referring to ads, then obviously yes, it's your company page. But then you set a specific ad, a separate ad, or you could just inspire yourself from one of the current posts. But specific ad. So yeah, definitely a company page is a must. But does it have to take up that much time of your content strategy? No. I think it's more think about you yourself. Because you can always, like we do in Pitch Slap, no? If I post something that's relevant, just reshare, no? Or post the same thing if what you want is to have content in your company page.
That's very interesting. Guys, listen to it attentively. Actually, recently we had this discussion within InnMind team as well, because the discussion was about whether to invest more efforts in the public pages or to the personal pages of the founding team, etc. And there was a big argument between two opinions. Yes, because the opinion from marketing side was that the public company pages, the corporate pages, are number one, and they should play the leading role in informing the audience about what is happening. And founders should step a little bit back, because it should not be so much personalized. But exactly my opinion was similar with yours. I thought always that it's in every business and every activity, it's about always people, whatever brand you have. So that's very interesting to think over.
That's interesting, and there are so many that still think that way, but not because they're still stuck on the way things were done before, but I think there's, most importantly, there's this, they feel an obstacle to starting to building their own brand. They don't know where to start. So because they don't know where to start, and I'm not saying that that's the case of your marketing team, I'm just saying from what I've seen, since they don't know where to start with this whole brand building, personal brand building stuff, they're closed to it, you know? So if you facilitate, which is also what, you know, I work on, I work with founders on this too. you know, just like, for example, for the next session, I want you to post to record a video of yourself talking about something. Just pick an objection that you recently had from a customer, and talk about it for 30 seconds. So and it's hard. It's hard. But if you just do that, then I show them that that could be interesting content for their LinkedIn, for a blog post, for no.
Oh my
And
God,
that's how it
you
starts.
work in parallel as a marketing person, CMO, and a little bit psychologist, because actually this thing is really hard. We also notice that, for example, when we ask startup founders in some challenges to record a short pitch and publish it online, even if it is in the resource, which is available only for investors, some people really have a hard time to overcome the fear of public speech or whatever. So yeah, I think that you have a lot of interesting components in your work.
Well, you know, marketing is you know, there's a lot of behavioral psychology. Step one when you start to market. I mean, I do a lot of work around teaching, as you know, teaching startups how to teach their customers how to buy, not sell. Enabling that whole buying. So they're teaching you, making it easy to buy, not sell. Okay, so there's a different mindset. And the first step there is figuring out, you know, of course, who's your target customer, and knowing what your value proposition is, what the benefits are, etc. But also why they want it. You understand? No, you have to understand why they want it. What does that bring to them? And what does that mean? You know, if you think of Nelly's here today. Nelly wants to be this. No? There's an obstacle, and you're there to break that obstacle and get Nelly from here to here. So I need to paint the picture of Nelly wherever Nelly wants to go. I need to know it. Where does she want to go? And I need to tell her that there's a straight, you know, a straight journey, which is never straight, by the way. It's very like this. But yeah, so it's all about psychology. There's a lot of psychology in terms of pricing, you know, everything is psychology. So yeah.
Oh my God, that's amazing. It is so connected indeed. Sales, marketing. Guys, did you hear that? So you need not only to learn yourself how to sell and teach your team how to sell. By the way, everyone in the startup team should sell. This is the concept, actually. Even people in design, in other segments, I truly believe that all of them should think of sales, but you should also teach your customers how to buy. This is, by the way, very interesting. I don't hear it so much from around. So actually, did I understand you correctly that teaching customers how to buy means that something like user journey or user experience, when you explain them step by step, you identify their problem and you explain that the purchase is the easiest solution to solve this problem.
Yeah, pretty much if we just take a step back and think of selling, you know, what does it mean? So selling, and I recommend if your audience, if the people watching, if you are not following Chris Walker on LinkedIn, I really highly recommend you follow him, especially if you're in B2B.
Chris Walker.
Chris Walker, and we can leave the links also.
We will do it.
Yeah, he does a lot of content on demand generation. So yeah, I'll let you discover him. No, but in general, if you think of selling, and he talks a lot about this. So you have the sales process, right? First you do this, then get on a call with a sales person, then etc. etc. So you have this nice little sales process that you design. And then you take the buyer and you try to shoehorn it in there. But the buyer doesn't want to be sold to. The buyer doesn't want to be qualified. That's your process. They don't want to be qualified. They don't want to go on a sales call to be qualified. That's not what they want. No, so it's a change of complete change of mindset. No, I think. Yeah, and then sales enablement also is a big part of that. So how can marketing do sales enablement? No, I think one of the just to give you the people watching an example. Many years ago, there was at a B2B, it was voice tech. It was in voice tech. So we kept getting the same before a demo. No, before it was before the demo call. Yeah, I think so. Before the demo call, we were getting. Oh no, in the demo call. I'm sorry, it's been so long. During the demo call, we would get the same first questions, the same questions. So hey, let's stop and let's gather these questions, not waste my sales team's time. Take these questions, make a short video, yeah, and in the confirmation email to the demo, send them this short video. So they come in, they already know all that. You're not wasting the salesperson's time. The salesperson, because you think about it, you repeat the same thing again and again. No, let's just so you're being aware. So first of all, it's listening, internal listening also. No, you listen and then you come up with this nice little solution to plug in this video. Since you're already sending that confirmation email anyways, make it more interactive, because confirmation emails are just boring and sure they're necessary, but well, I'm not even sure they're necessary. But anyways. Sorry, I just ramble.
That's a great example.
But yeah,
it reminds me different so-called growth hacking techniques. And I wanted to ask you this question actually. What do you think about growth hacking as a marketing professional? You think that it is a kind of illusion, a fancy word to explain some standard marketing efforts in a fancy and magic way, or it is really a separate department of the marketing?
A separate, I think if you say separate, that depends on the size of the company, very much so.
No, I mean conceptually, it is the department, within the marketing, kind of direction of development. It is a science.
Okay, I see what you mean. I think I like to think that I have a little growth marketing in me, because I think it's a mindset. No, growth marketing. Take four things that you think you want to test. No, so from let's take it from the beginning. Your goal is to improve the sign up rate, no, on your website. Yeah. So you sit down and say, what are the 10 things that I can do that might have this effect? Okay, so you take the 10. Then you evaluate these 10 and see cost benefit analysis. No, how much do they each cost? And then you choose, let's say 3 or 4. No, and then you do those and you measure. To me, it's nothing new. And sure, if you're when you're in a growth marketing department, you only work on those things. But in an early stage startup, you need to have that mindset too. No? And I've learned that the hard way. I mean, I was CMO of two startups, and it's hard when you have so many other things to do. It's hard to stop and focus on this one thing. But it also ties back to revenue marketing. If, and I learned this really late, if I don't focus on sales, no, then I'm going to be doing, my to-do list is going to be filled with stuff like maybe a video for the company page, And I don't mean to, if anyone does that, I don't mean to belittle what they're doing, but I'm just saying the reality of the day-to-day, at least in my experience, and I've seen quite a few other CMOs working. It's all about focus, no? Even if it's short, the growth hacks are sometimes really, really short, no? But you need to focus on this with your eye on the ball constantly, Huh?
And growth hacking and growth marketing is something similar or different?
To me, they're the same. To me, they're the same. To me, they're absolutely the same. I mean, you could do. Nelly. I'm sure that you know, if we dug deep, you're doing growth hacking too. You know, some sort of growth hacking. Yeah. So it's more this mindset, no, and quick, that type of mindset that I think that everyone should have. Huh? Mm.
And growth hacking is the part of strategic marketing as well.
Yeah, of course, because the goal, remember, the strategy, the way I see it is you have a goal in mind. How are we going to get there? No, in the most efficient way possible. So if we, what do we need? No, so we have different. We could do different channels. We have different, and in each one we're going to need to tweak a few things. No, one could be making a tweak in the website. You know, the other one could be testing your messaging with Google Ads, for example, right? With a quick Google Ads, just to see which messaging resonates. It could be any number of things. So definitely, it's part of all that.
We make these videos in order to dilute geographical and administrative borders and to help you get closer to international investors, venture capitalists, market experts, and startup hubs, irrespective of what country or part of the world you are based in. And we need your support. If you like this video, please don't forget to put like button, to subscribe to our channel, and if you find it useful, I will appreciate if you share it with your teammates, co-founders, or social media networks. Thank you, and see you in the next videos.
Can you learn about growth hacking by others' experience? There are billions of posts in the internet, like ultimate guide for growth hacking or whatever. Or is it, what you say, I understand that growth hacking is something very, very, very individual, which is explored within your company, in your case, with your specifics, using your environment to create these momentums.
I love that you asked that question, because there are so many books, and God knows I read books, and I read, you know, I podcasts. I listen to podcasts. I'm, you know, constantly reading, no, and consuming content. Doing teaches you a lot more. Doing. So if you do it, reading is nice. You can read the growth hacking book. You can read that, sure. If it's going to stay as knowledge in your head, then no. Like, don't just to say that I read growth hacking. No, you need to do stuff.
That's the best answer I could expect. And guys who are listening to this interview right now, remember, this actually replicates to everything. This is the first what I want you to understand. But second, indeed, if you do and get bad results, it is better than not doing, because actually you have experience.
Absolutely. And getting results is a good thing. Getting bad results, is a good thing. Because you found another way that it doesn't work. So that's good.
Absolutely. And can you remind maybe some growth hacking life hacks, tips, or something, maybe one, two, just to show how can it work on examples?
Life hacks, as someone who's actually doing this, I would say it seems very simple, but the best things are simple. But keep your eye on the ball. So what is that goal? We get lost, no, once we start, you know, just the increase the signups, but by how much? No, if you're not specific,
measure.
So keep your eye on the goal and make it as specific as possible. Even if you say, oh, but I don't know, I don't have experience. I mean, Should we expect a 10% increase, a 54% increase? Be specific. And how can you get to that number? You have sector data. You have access to other, marketers in your network, which I really recommend this to everyone. I recommend whether you're a marketer, a CEO, CTO, whatever your profile is, connect with others. This is, especially the InnMind community really fosters that, no? Connect with others. You will be surprised at the knowledge transfer that happens in those communities. Well, communities like yours. So yeah, whenever you have questions, of course, always try and solve it yourself. No. So going back to the putting a number on it, you have industry data. You have tons of things to start from, and then you just have to be realistic with your own numbers. For example, next month we expect a 50% increase, in signups. To know if that is possible or not, go back to your funnel, and with your current funnel, to get 50% signups, how many website visitors do you need? No? So if you want to get 5,000 signups, for example, that means that given your current conversion, within that funnel, that you'll need 25,000 visitors. Is this possible? No? Then you ask yourself, is this possible? Yeah. Okay. So how do I get 25,000? Let's go back. I think that given our current traffic breakdown, I think that 30% is going to come from Facebook ads, 45% is going to come, and then you go back. So it's basically all, I just gave you this example to just show you that we need to be specific and realistic.
Okay, very good. And speaking about real examples, also you had so many startup founders consulting with you, telling their story, etc. Can you remind what are the major mistakes or misconceptions majority of them have? Because I am sure your head is full with those examples, but maybe some most common, because I continuously see the common typical mistakes and illusions that are in the heads of many founders. I would love to hear your opinion on that.
Misconceptions. Because the one is
about marketing.
Yeah. But marketing, sales. My first one was about sales. That you don't have to sell. No. And I think that's completely wrong. Everyone, like I think you mentioned it before, everyone has to learn how to sell. So going back to that one story that the CEO that needs to be pushed by the CEO throughout the whole organization, or not pushed, wrong choice of words, driven. If you ask a CTO, you ask a CEO, you ask a CMO, a CEO, they need to be able to, of course, with their own energy, their own personality, but sell the same story. No? And I think so number one is I don't have to sell. I'm not in sales, I don't have to sell. No? The CEO is not the only one that has to sell. Yeah. But again, it's pushed, it's driven by the CEO, this whole, where are we going and why are we here? No, why this company and why do we exist and what exactly are we doing? No, that's number one. And then in terms of marketing more specifically, yeah, like you said, there's so many things, but just to give this first one, and I learned this the hard way: attribution. Okay, attribution. So your cost per your cost per acquisition, right? And your CAC payback are the two most important metrics. CAC and CAC payback. Okay, and CAC Furthermore, per channel, you need to, because you're doing different things in each channel. So you have
Just
Facebook ads.
for those
Oh,
who maybe don't understand, what is CAC and what is another?
cost of acquisition. So CAC, yeah, CAC, CAC is cost of acquisition, and that's how much a customer actually costs, and versus lifetime value, no? And there's a, if you're familiar with LTV, no, there's that ratio that I don't know if now they recommend a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 ratio. Anyway, so, and then there's the CAC payback, which is how long does it take you to recoup that cost from the sales that you get from that customer. No? Let's say a customer costs you, if we're in B2B, a high-priced, we're selling high-priced products or services, 10,000, it costs 10,000 to acquire, but you know that as soon as you acquire them, you're going to get a 300,000 deal, a 300,000 euro deal. That's a really good CAC, by the way, no, for that example. And then it could be the other way around. So CAC payback, for example, if it costs you 1,000 to get a customer, and you'll get it a subscription, no, let's say, and you get 1,000 a month or 500 a month, let's say, well, you'll recoup it the second month, no?
Yeah.
So it's just how long do you get back?
You mentioned that topic of attribution within misconceptions. So what is the misconception in these CACs and attributions?
That is not necessary. Because it's hard, again, that is not necessary. I've seen that because it's hard to do. Attribution is really difficult to do. But it's, I mean, it can be done. It's just that it's difficult to do, no? And I know I've been there, and I've had, you know, I've you know, hit my head, you know, my head against the wall, just, you know, how much does a customer cost if they come exactly from Facebook? How much do they cost, no? If they come from, because their sales processes sometimes are a bit more complex. So depending on what you're doing. So yeah, I think I've seen that a lot. That is not necessary, but more because I think it's difficult to be done. You know?
Yeah, absolutely agree. Yeah. And there will be a lot of questions, I guess, because we also receive them often, that if it is easy to calculate the acquisition cost, for example, when you do marketing in Facebook, or I mean, not organic marketing, but for example, paid advertisement. Or if you have one CMO or social media person, you pay her salary and then they calculate cost according to the salary. But many startups, they have illusions and misconceptions that either they can't calculate this cost at all, or it does not cost anything, because there are also cases when the startup does not spend money for marketing, reaches, for example, B2B customers within his network or her network, and then he says, well, it's for free. We don't pay for these contacts. And then we try to explain that, guys, you spend money, working hours, resources, etc. It is not for free. So oh my God, you are so right.
Yeah, especially if you do marketing budget divided by number of customers. No, that's the quickest way. So yeah, that's one. And then I think just to give you another, see if I can think of one more. In terms of messaging, yes, this is one of my favorites. I don't know if it classifies as a misconception, but it might be interesting, you know? Is it the same that happens with pitches, where they sound great in our heads, you know, behind our desk, but once we go out and pitch, we say that it's not making sense. It's not getting the attention, the reaction, that it's not getting any reaction, period, good or bad, you know? It's our messaging. So our messaging, we still to this day, I see a lot of company messaging, marketing messages being developed, being created behind the desk, solely behind the desk. that's just not the way, I mean, your most powerful copy is your customer's words, huh? And I really believe this. You're sitting on gold. So you have sales, you can listen to sales calls, you can have interviews with your customers, look at the reviews they leave, depending on the business, obviously, their emails, what they post, etc., how they talk about your business. No? That's super important. If your customer says, like in the example of Pitch Slap, and I think we shared this with you, someone said, oh, Pitch Slap is like a nicer, more constructive version of Shark Tank. What did I do? I took that and I'm using it in my communication, because I know that my target knows what Shark Tank is. So if one of my founders, one of the founders said, use that analogy, that's going to help me. No? So I think, I don't know if it's a misconception, but it's something that we do that, oh my God, please stop doing. No, please.
It's not a misconception, but this is a mistake when the founders or startup teams forget to talk with customers, not only to get feedback about the product, but also to understand the messaging. That is completely true. And this is one of widely made mistakes, I would say. And by the way, speaking about Pitch Slap, guys, every Tuesday, except August, unfortunately, because guys want to have some rest, every Tuesday, Pitch Slap makes a special event which is called also Pitch Slap, where founders can apply and pitch your projects, either sales pitch or investment pitch, to Zineb and her partner Taran. They are great experts, both. One in marketing, Zineb, and Taran is sales guru. And they will listen to your pitch, give you straight away feedback, and give you advice how to improve it. I participated in few pitch slaps, and I'm absolutely fascinated how it goes and how much value can you get from that. Don't consider it as an advertisement, or consider it as an advertisement. I don't care. I just tell you, you should try it yourself, because this is something which really worth to be part of, because before talking with real investors or real clients, you will have all the great feedback from two major professionals, marketing and sales, on how to pack and polish your pitch in the best possible way. So we will put the link to the Pitch Slap website where you can apply. And given that Pitch Slap are partners of InnMind, you will have amazing offer for participation, which can be reserved for special price. So just go there, click the link, and reserve. I think that they are pre-reserved for quite a long time, but you can keep your space for September or October or December or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the shout out to Pitch Slap. And I'd be happy to have you all on Pitch Slap, the weekly show. As Nelly said, I think you'll see huge improvement just with that first session. And it's fun, but it's nothing scary. I just want to say this to everyone. It's, you hear the Pitch Slap and it's not scary. It's just pure value and fun. And we'd be happy to have you.
And overcoming your fears also helps a lot in everything and in sales at the first place, because when you feel free and not scared talking with your customers and clients, they also feel this confidence in you, and they become also more confident in you. Zineb, topic of marketing, strategic marketing, growth hacking is so interesting that I can talk with you all the day longer, but we have limited amount of time. So few last questions which I wanted to ask for today. First of all, one of really very popular questions from startup founders of early stage, that if they don't have a marketing team yet, if they don't have dedicated person for SMM, dedicated person for PR, dedicated whatever, and obviously they don't have CMO, does it make sense for them to go and to get marketing mentorship or advisory if they don't have execution capabilities inside their team?
Absolutely. And I had to stop myself from interrupting you before you finished this. Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, if you do not have someone on your team to have these someone that can help you, be it a couple of hours a month to 1 hour a week, this, for one, you get an outside perspective, which is really important at the beginning. This outside perspective to get out of your own head. No? You get also recommendations on new ways to do things. No? Because sometimes you're stuck with one way of doing things, and you, instead of looking for new ways of doing it, no, you're just beating your head against the wall just to make it work. So absolutely, this outside perspective is important. And going back to the whole strategy, just if it gives you this outside perspective to look at your business from another outlook from the outside, and start to strategize what makes sense. You don't have all the time in the world, so time is limited. Where are you going to focus? How can, if you don't have anyone in marketing, that doesn't mean you're not doing marketing, no? So how can this advisor, this mentor, help you make little changes? You know, the example of the video, take all the objections, bring them to me. Bring me all the objections. Tell me about your sales cycle. So make a video or make a document and put it here. And let's see next week how, you know, what the improvements are. So absolutely necessary, yeah.
Okay, that is good advice. What about starting significant marketing efforts? When should they start it? At the very beginning, when they just start developing their startup, or when there is already product or MVP available, or on the later stage when they get funding and then start marketing?
But I would say market from the napkin stage. From when you're in the napkin, start marketing. Now, if your question is towards having an actual budget where you can do, you know, run paid ads, in general, all the companies that are doing that run validation campaigns before they decide on this business idea, they do dedicate at least 500 euros to run a few validation campaigns on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is, no? But then again, it's not all paid. The message I want to give to everyone is, if you're making, if let's say you're making 30,000 a month in revenue, and you have a 5,000 euro budget in marketing, that's fine. But if you don't have that, that's also fine, no? So with whatever you have, don't stop marketing, because it's not all paid. Not all paid. That's the main message I want to convey today. It's not all paid. Paid is good if it makes sense within your strategy, no? And it helps you just take off in another. It takes you from step from A to B, because you have a strategy for that. But if not, you have backlink strategy, you have the influencers in your sector, so how to reach out to them, and there are a few hacks on how to get those emails, you know, who have signed up. You just look for something common that they have, like an event, and see how you can scrape all the emails of the people that are going there, and then just send all of them a nice cold email campaign, and try to get from there, no? So there are many things that you can try that are not necessarily paid. Sure, you have to pay for tools, etc. So there's some sort of a minimum, but the question is, it depends on the company, it depends on your process, and you need to market from the very beginning. So market from the very beginning, whatever the budget, just market, yeah.
Okay, and the last question for today, your main advice, or maybe three pieces of how much you have in your head. I mean, the major points which you want to translate to startup founders of what should they always keep in mind when they think about marketing or strategic marketing for their startup, their product.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the number 3. No, so we've spoken about a few today. So CAC and CAC Payback, number 1. No, I think I'm going to call them the ultimate truth. So that's number 1.
So
your
measure
messaging.
Measure your numbers, and know how your customers cost. CAC is customer acquisition cost.
Yeah.
So remember.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, CAC, customer acquisition cost, and how long it takes you to recoup that. So the payback, and of course measure all along. But these are the ones that these are key. No, I think in terms of, is it generally the people watching generally B2B?
No, everything,
yeah,
but in B2B also a lot of startup.
Yeah. Okay, so number 2, the messagings which we've spoken about. Test. So gather all this information from, you're sitting on gold, remember? So use that and test. Use it and test. It's the same with your pitches. Test is the only way. Okay. And number 3, okay, it's tied to CAC, to the cost of acquisition. But especially for B2B, your cost per lead doesn't mean anything, no? If we tie it back to what we said before, which is the MQLs, no? So let's say you have 1,000 people who downloaded the ebook, your cost per lead, wow, it's great, no? But your cost per acquisition is through the roof because you're not closing as many. Right? So it's not cost per lead. So this idea of co-owning revenue, and then look at your cost per acquisition, how much it takes to close, to acquire that customer, not vanity metrics like cost per lead. And your cost per lead could be really high, and that's fine because your cost per acquisition is low. No? So yeah, I think those 3 things are super important. 2 metrics and 1 messaging.
Messaging, yes. Guys, so remember, measure your numbers, talk with your customers, just to summarize what Zineb just said. And also, always remember, don't make mistakes in this cost per lead or cost per acquisition. So remember these 3 pieces of advice. And if you feel that you need some external support to either structure your marketing or to advise you on strategic marketing or to help you with growth hacking some aspects of your company promotion, you know now whom to approach. Yeah. We will put Zineb contact details and profiles and everything. Yeah. So just reach her out. She is amazing. Zineb, you are amazing. Thank you very much for this time. And guys, I just want to make small announcement. You know, we have regular webinars, and in a few weeks, we are planning a great webinar with Zineb. We will announce it shortly in a few days with a certain date and time. But to get better prepared, please, in the comments of this interview, leave your questions. What is making you worried? What creates for you? What is the problem for you in marketing? What questions do you have in mind, and what problems do you face? So that we could make it maximum efficiently and get prepared. Thank you.
That's a great thing. Yeah, that's great to put the questions in there and we can address them. Yeah, super. Thank you so much, Nelly. You're too kind. Thank you for your nice words. And thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you at the webinar soon. Ciao, ciao, ciao.